Good morning, children.
Good morning.
We already finished the chapter. So today's Saturday. I thought no point starting with a new chapter. So I'll just be taking a very quick revision of what we did yesterday, okay? Something shared on your screens. Read it immediately. Let us discuss and ask questions. Hurry up, hurry up. We had talked about root pressure. What is the difference between root pressure and transpiration pull? Let me see who remembers. How is root pressure and transpiration pull different, beta? I'm asking you.
Ma'am, root pressure helps in
Root
transport
pressure
of
is
water
low.
in small plants, whereas transpiration pull helps in transport of water in big plants.
Exactly. So when I say root pressure, it is somewhere centimeters. Okay. Water can travel a few centimeters. But if I say transpiration pull, then how much distance can be traveled?
Ma'am, in meters or feet.
Ma'am, in meters.
Good. It could be a few meters or it could be a few feet also. Why is it called transpiration pull? Why is this process called as transpiration pull? Why not guttation pull, imbibition pull? Why not all this? Hmm? Because the vacuum is created because of the process of
Transpiration.
transpiration. That is why it is called as transpiration pull. Okay. Now, what is the difference between cohesion and adhesion? Quickly.
Ma'am, cohesion force is between the same type of particles, whereas adhesive force is between different particles.
Okay, very good. One example of cohesion and one of adhesion.
Cohesion is between water and water particles, and adhesion will be in between water and lignified walls of xylem.
Okay, good. This figure is clear to everybody. Now a revision of capillary force very quickly. Just giving you 2 minutes, then we'll start asking questions from each other. Because you completed the chapter, but at no point starting a new chapter on Saturday. We'll start on Monday. Ready? We had talked about two straws, a thick straw and a thin straw. What was the difference between both of them?
Thin straw have smaller diameter,
Less
whereas
diameter
thick
and
straw
thick
have
straw
And
has
thick
larger
small
diameter.
larger
bigger
diameter.
How will be the transport of water different or transport of any liquid different in a thick straw and a thin straw?
In thick
In
straw,
thin
rise of
straw, the
water
water
will be
level
less,
will be high,
and
and
in
in
thin
thick
it will
straw,
be high.
the water will be up to a
and
level.
thick straw it will be
Xylem is compared to which kind of a straw?
Thin straw.
Thin
thin
straw.
straw.
Is
Thin
compared to
straw.
a thin straw. Very good. So water will rise up to a certain level. Why is xylem compared to a straw or a capillary?
Because it is a narrow tube with an opening.
Very good. And what is that opening?
Stomata.
Stomata.
The two forces which help in transpiration pull are
Cohesion
Cohesive
and
and
adhesion.
adhesive.
Cohesion and
cohesion
adhesion.
and adhesion.
which one is attractive force and which one is repulsive force?
cohesion is attractive.
Cohesion is
attractive
attractive,
force and
Adhesive is
adhesive is
repulsive.
repulsive.
Adhesion is repulsive.
Ma'am,
Children,
both are attractive.
हाँ beta, both are attractive forces. There is no which is repulsive. That means we need to do it once more. Cohesion is what? What was the definition of cohesion? Speak out, children.
The
Attraction
attraction between the
same
same
attraction between the same type
molecules.
of molecules.
So you use the word attraction. And what is adhesion?
Attraction
Attraction
between
between different types of
Attraction
molecules.
between different molecules.
So again, you use the word attraction. So both of them are attractive forces. Don't get confused. Now on the screen, structure of a dicot leaf. Giving you 2 minutes. Go through it quickly. We'll discuss. How many epidermal layers can you see?
2.
Okay. Outer and?
Inner.
Yes. What is the difference between both of them?
Upper epidermis have do not have stomata, and lower epidermis has stomata.
Okay. If you peel off both the epidermal layers, the third layer which you'll come across is layer of its cells.
Layer of parenchyma cells.
Yes, palisade parenchyma. Okay. Basically, palisade parenchyma. After that, which parenchyma?
Spongy parenchyma.
Spongy
Spongy
parenchyma.
parenchyma.
So come on, name the layers from outer to inner. We are going from outer to inner. Which is the first one?
Spongy parenchyma.
No, beta, first one, outer to inner. Upper?
Upper epidermis.
Upper
Upper
epidermis.
epidermis.
Yes. Okay. It has no stomata. Then what was special about the second layer, inner epidermis?
It has a stomata.
Ma'am, please take Unnati in the meeting.
Okay, beta. And what was special about palisade parenchyma?
It has cuticles.
It has cuticle.
It has cuticles.
What is special about cuticle? What is the feature of cuticle?
It reduces transpiration.
Okay. So we have done the 3 layers. We have done the properties, spongy parenchyma. What is there in the middle over here?
Vascular
Vascular
bundle.
Vascular bundle.
Okay. Now read the concept how water enters into a straw or into a xylem. Next 2 minutes. Did you see that video again of translocation? I told you yesterday. It's a little complicating. See it once.
Yes, ma'am, seen.
Okay. I'll be discussing that also today. So water keeps evaporating by transpiration. What are the 2 main factors which affect?
Temperature and humidity.
Temperature and
Temperature
humidity.
and humidity.
Okay. So when water keeps on evaporating in the capillary tube or in the straw, we need to have a suction which is created by vacuum. So how is that vacuum being created? How does the vacuum be created? How does the xylem become empty from the water that it contains?
The water continuously comes out from the stomata and it creates a suction.
Yes, very good. Suction is basically vacuum has to be created. I told you how suction was created in the case of a straw. We suck what? Air. What do we suck, children? We suck air and vacuum is created and then water, the drink pushes up into the straw. So here vacuum has to be created. Vacuum is created by making the xylem empty. And that is basically being done by the loss of water by transpiration. So this is how the water pushes up into the xylem. Now we're going to revise movement of minerals. Movement of water is unidirectional or multidirectional?
Unidirectional.
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 Down to up or up to down?
Down to up.
Down to up.
Down to up.
Down to up.
That, because it was coming first from soil to what was the passage? Soil to root hairs. Then from root hair to
Xylem.
before reaching xylem, it was crossing other things as well. Tell
Epidermal
me what?
cells.
Epidermal cell. Then after epidermal cells,
Cortex.
Cortex.
cortical cells. What was special about cortical cells?
They have
Intercellular
intercellular spaces.
Cellular
in them.
spaces.
Very good. Very good. So epidermal cells, then cortex cell, then after cortex?
Endodermis.
Yes.
Endodermis.
Endodermal cells, we had 2 types of endodermal cells. Tell me which ones?
Passage cells and cells with
Facet
suberin
and
lining.
The ones which have suberin and the ones which do not have suberin. What is the problem with the cells that have suberin?
They are impervious to water. They do not
to
allow
water.
water to pass.
Okay. So this suberin can be seen as a thick line or a thin strip in the cells of endodermis. What is the strip called?
Casparian strip.
Very good. It is called as the Casparian strip. And those cells which do not have suberin, they easily allow the water to pass through them. What are those cells called?
Passage
Passage
cells.
cell.
Passive cell.
Sure. Very good. So you remember now a quick revision of mineral absorption. 2 minutes, read quickly. You have to just read. We'll discuss. Read, beta? How do minerals enter water? Sorry. How do minerals enter a plant?
With the help
By
of
water.
water.
Yes, they don't go alone on their own. They actually move with the help of?
Water.
Yes. We have how many methods of intake of minerals?
2.
Two methods.
2.
Methods. Name them.
Active and passive.
Active.
Active and passive.
Very good. Okay. What happens in active mode of transportation of minerals? Tell quickly.
Energy
The
is
minerals move
required.
from low to high concentration and energy is required.
Where is it low? Where is it high?
In the soil, the
Low in the soil
concentration
In the
less
and
soil,
high
it
in
is
the roots.
In the soil, it is
Okay. So what is the word you should use in terms of gradient?
against the concentration gradient.
against the concentration.
So in such a case, energy would be required or not?
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. What is the second case? What happens in the second case, beta? The passive transport of minerals.
Ma'am,
Minerals
and
move from high concentration
Minerals
to
are
low
higher
concentration.
concentration in soil.
along the concentration gradient.
Very good. So the high concentration is in the soil or in the roots?
Soil.
In the soil.
The
Soil.
soil.
So it's going to move from soil to roots or roots to soil?
Soil to roots.
Soil.
Soil.
Soil to root.
Is there any energy in the form of ATP spent?
No.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No.
No.
Okay. So what with this kind of a movement is known as active movement or passive movement?
Passive.
Passive. The maximum case of mineral nutrition is active transport or passive?
Active.
Active.
Yes, it is active transport. Most of the time, the soil has less nutrients only. Now your turn to revise factors affecting rate of transpiration very quickly. Good that you remember. At least those who have attended classes are able to answer. Quickly, we are going to do factors affecting rate of transpiration. Yes, children, have you revised?
Yes,
Hmm?
ma'am.
Okay, tell me the first factor.
First factor is
Temperature.
temperature and it is
Temperature.
directly proportional.
Okay, fine. And what is the relationship?
Directly proportional.
Directly
Directly
proportional.
When I say directly proportional, what does it mean?
if the
If
temperature is high, the rate of
transpiration,
transpiration will also be high.
Okay, which is the second factor? Okay, in temperature also there is one complication. What is that?
Very high temperature.
Very high temperature.
Okay, what happens in very high temperature? Just explain it to me.
when there is
Due
very
to
high
release of
temperature, then there is
stress hormone ABA,
causes due to the
stomata
release of
closes.
ABA hormone.
Which is the third factor?
Humidity.
Humidity.
Explain better how it affects.
When humidity is low, then the transpiration is high. It is inversely proportional.
Very good. There were more factors. I'm hiding it. I've hidden it. Tell me what.
Light.
How does it affect better? Yes, humidity is directly proportional or inversely proportional.
Inversely proportional.
Inverse.
Inversely proportional.
Yes, very good. Who will sum up all the three factors and speak out quickly? Tell me all the three things together. Hurry up. Quickly, quickly. Who will do this?
Ma'am, first factor is temperature. It is directly proportional to it. Second is a very high temperature. When there is very high temperature, then the stomata closes due to because of there is a hormone release, the ABA hormone, which prevents the water loss, so transpiration stops. Third is humidity. It is inversely proportional to humidity.
Beta, you all agree with what she said? Can we have one
Yes,
more child
ma'am.
discussing the factors? One boy now? Any one child?
Ma'am, may I speak?
Please speak better. Come on. All the three factors and how they affect.
First factor is temperature. It is directly proportional to the rate of transpiration. Second is very high temperature. When there is very high temperature, then a stress hormone called ABA is released, which prevents the water loss through the process of transpiration through stomata, because it closes the stomata. Third is humidity. Humidity is inversely proportional to the rate of transpiration. When the humidity is high, then the water loss due to transpiration will be low and vice versa.
Very good. What is the full form of ABA?
Abscisic acid.
Yes, very quickly. And then the last factor, which does not directly affect, indirectly affects. What was that?
Light.
Light. So this is going to not affect directly, but indirectly. Let's read the last factor and discuss it very quickly. Then we'll move on to the revision of last topic, which I said yesterday. I'll be taking up once again. It's a little complicating. Translocation, that is transport of food. So from Monday, we can start a new chapter. Read quickly, light. Read it slowly. See how light is going to affect. Have you read? Have you read, beta, or you need another minute? Tell me.
Ma'am, read.
Okay. Chalo, let us discuss. Maybe it's a little typical one, but it's not that difficult. Chalo, explain. You people only explain together. Start. Any one of you can start. Others can help.
Ma'am, when intensity of light increases, then the rate of photosynthesis also increases. The amount of glucose uh, is and accumulates in the guards. Uh, Glucose makes guard cells creates hypotonic conditions, due to which the stomata opens and the water starts to flow from hypo to hypertonic, and due to this the rate of transpiration also increases.
Very good. So we understood this, beta. Light is going to affect the rate of what?
Transpiration
Photosynthesis.
and
Yes,
transpiration.
basically photosynthesis also. And transpiration, of course, it is affecting, but we are studying how it is affecting. So when amount of light increases, photosynthesis increases, and what is stored more? What is produced more?
Glucose.
Glucose.
Yes, which enters and the cells become.
Hypotonic.
Hypotonic.
So this is how what will happen now. So stoma will open and then stoma open wide. So the rate of transpiration automatically increases. But can you tell me if too much of light is there, then what will happen? I'm not showing. Let me see how many of you remember.
Then
Then
stomata will close
stomata closes.
because
Then ABA will be
ABA
released
will
and
release.
stomata will
In both the cases, we saw that ABA is released a stress hormone for plants. Which two cases? Excess of light and
excessive
Heat.
of temperature, high temperature.
Temperature.
excess of light and excess of temperature. So this hormone during stressful conditions comes to help the plant by closing the stomata so that the water loss is minimum. That is why this is also known as the stress hormone for plants, ABA, abscisic acid. Okay, let's continue. We'll move on to the last part now. That is transport of food. We did this yesterday, translocation. Let me show it to you, then we revise it. Everybody remembers this structure? This was what? Phloem I talked about, two sieve tubes and
Phloem.
Panion cells. This is what cell is this?
Sieve tube.
Sieve tube.
Yes.
Tube.
The other name is a sieve cell. What is this blue cell associated with it?
Companion cell.
Companion cell.
Yes. Now these are perforations. These are pores. What are these perforated plates called?
Sieve
Sieve
plates.
plate.
Okay. Movement of food takes place by which hypothesis?
Mass flow hypothesis.
Mass flow hypothesis.
Yes. And this mass flow hypothesis can be explained with the help of a theory, which is
Source to
Source
sink
to sink
theory.
Source to
theory.
sink theory.
Source to sink theory.
source to sink theory. So two keywords we all need to remember, mass flow hypothesis and source to sink theory. Now please, on your screens, I've shared the main points. Read it quickly. Let us discuss the last topic of the chapter. I took up this chapter from the beginning when I started on Monday for this reason only, because some part we had done before I went on leave. So there was a lot of confusion. No, back to back we've done the chapter. There should be no confusion. For exams, always study from NCERT children.
I'm ready.
All are ready? Can we start? When I say source in a plant, what do we mean?
I'm the place where food is
Place where
synthesized.
food is
The-
prepared.
Yes. So what is the source in a green plant?
Leaf.
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 Good. I mean by sink.
Where food is stored.
I'm
Place
where food is
A
stored.
place where
Place
Give
where
me
food
two
is
examples. Give me any two examples.
Roots, stems,
Root.
Roots,
Stems and roots.
roots and stems.
Yes. Okay. Very good. So source to sink theory. That means the food moves from where to where?
where food is
Source to
synthesized
sink.
From
plant.
is stored.
Yes. It is moved from leaves, that is source, to other parts where it will be stored. Okay. This is how it moves. 2-3 examples we had done that yes, it is stored in tubers and sugarcane food is stored in stems, all these things. First step now. When food is synthesized, that is glucose. It's a carbohydrate. But food is transported in which form?
Sucrose.
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 Why do we need convert glucose first into sucrose for transportation?
Glucose is
Because glucose is highly
Glucose is
reactive and
highly
sucrose is
reactive.
not reactive.
Yes. So if it would have been reactive and if glucose is only being transported, then what will happen on the way?
It will
It will
react with
react
everything.
everything.
It will react
Yes,
with
on the way
everything.
only it will keep reacting, so it will be of no use. So it was produced in the form of glucose, which is highly reactive, but it is transported in the form of sucrose, which is less reactive or non-reactive. And once it reaches the sink, it is stored in which form?
Starch.
As starch.
Yes, it will be stored in the form of starch. So remember these three forms. Production in the form of glucose, that's carbohydrates. Transportation in the form of?
Sucrose.
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 Okay, very good. And then stored in the form of?
Starch.
Starch.
I hope everybody knows the reason why we are converting glucose into sucrose when it is being transported. Now we are going to do this theory. Sucrose is going to enter the sieve cell of yours. So first it will enter directly into the cell or it will go through the companion cell?
It will go through the
It
companion
will
cell.
go through
Go to the
companion cell.
companion cell.
As soon as sucrose will enter, lot of sucrose inside, concentration will increase, the sieve cell will become hypo or hyper?
Hyper.
Hypotonic.
Hyper.
Hypertonic because of the concentration, and the sieve cell just next to it. So it'll have, the water will start moving from outside to inside or inside to outside? Water.
Outside to inside.
Outside to inside.
So what will be created inside the sieve cell?
High pressure.
High pressure.
High pressure.
And the neighboring cell that we have, this one. This is high pressure, this is low pressure. So from here, the material will be pushed here. Now this has high pressure and this is low pressure. So from here, it will again be pushed over here. I think you need to read this once. This too you've understood. Sucrose is entering through companion cells and concentration of sucrose increases inside. Inner medium is becoming hypertonic. Water always moves from hyper to hyper. So from surrounding cells, the water will enter here. This becomes high pressure. This is low pressure. From here, the sucrose is going to come here. Now this part. Yes, read quickly. So your first sieve cell is having pressure because of the concentration of what inside? Water has entered now, beta. The first cell has high pressure, the second has low pressure. So materials will be passed on from high pressure to low pressure or low pressure to high pressure.
High to low.
High to low.
High to low.
So the cell which has already given the material now to the next cell, adjacent cell gets low pressure now, and the one which receives is high pressure. We'll read it quickly. So food is transported to the neighboring cells. Now when the material from the high pressure sieve cell will move on to the sieve cell, which is the next one which has low pressure, automatically the one which will lose the material become low pressure. So this is how it will keep on moving. So the process of water is what? Endosmosis or exosmosis in this case?
Endosmosis.
Osmosis.
Endosmosis.
Yes, okay. Endosmosis, exosmosis. It is endosmosis because water always moves from.
Hypo to hyper.
Hypo to
Hypo
hyper.
to hyper.
I am a bit apprehensive about this concept. Chaliye, very quick. We have 2 minutes or something. Who will explain this process to me? Do it. Process of transportation of food in a plant. Sucrose enters through. I'll help, but you people need to speak, one of you. Sucrose enters through.
Companion cell.
Companion cell.
Then what happens? You can speak together, all of you. Together you can tell me.
Concentration
Then-
of
Concentration of what increases?